Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. This is literally the only one, and here we are yet back another week with Bible Talk. Dude, let's go. It's a very special one, obviously. It's the Thanksgiving Eve, right? So it's pretty cool. And I am beyond grateful to be here with two of my best friends now online. It's crazy to even think about this. I'm about to be thinking about for them, and I've never met John in person. And that's crazy. Anywho, my duo, the one and only, the award-winning actress, Kathy. What? JohnsFumblee. What's up, baby? How are you doing, John?
Hello,
What's up,
just here
man?
to give a quick shout out to Kathy Bates. I think she deserves more respect as an actress. She was on The Office, and before that, an award-winning actress. So
Okay, hold on. Which actress from The Office is that?
she was the one who Kathy Bates. Just look up Kathy Bates.
Yeah, no. But who's? I know The Office characters. Who is she? Angela?
She paid
Pam? No, I don't know, dude. I'm seriously asking, dude.
She played the CEO that came in after
gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha.
The one with the two dogs.
I know. Sweet. Shout out to her, I guess. Happy early Thanksgiving for you, my friend. Back another week, the co-star of this show, the one and only Mr. Adrean Indolos, aka bro. What's up, man?
What's up? How's it going?
Dude, you always laugh at my hype, bro. But you know that's me.
I love the hype.
Yeah, bro.
I wanna give a shout out to Grammy Award winning Taylor Swift because she's dope. Since we're giving shout outs to random celebrities, let's go.
No,
T-Swift.
not random. Not random. Kathy Bates is near and dear to my heart, bro.
Yes, and Taylor Swift is America's sweetheart. So
it's true. She's near and dear to everybody's heart.
Chat. Howdy, chat. Welcome to the awkwardness of this show. As per usual, you shouldn't be surprised by now. I have no idea how I ended up with friends like this, but nevertheless, very thankful to have them. Very thankful to get going. My wife says super confused. So am I. Believe me, I have no idea what's happening.
She's so confused that you has an accent on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hey, it's Mexican style, dude. She's jumping into the confusion. She wants to be part of it. She wants to belong.
She's so confused. She's speaking in Spanglish.
There you go. Hey, that's how it works, man. If you twist us,
super confused.
Super confused. Nah, say, babe. Thanks. Appreciate it. Well, welcome, chat. Welcome. Just letting you guys know how this cookie crumbles. We do this every week. Wait.
There will be tomorrow.
There will be tomorrow.
What?
I think not at my house. It might be pies tomorrow, not cookies.
Okay. We're gonna have both. Me and Lord are making the cookies. They're making the pies. I'm excited.
Nice, dude.
I'm making the stuffing.
You're making stuffing?
Yeah.
Very nice. Is it gonna be like ham and like veggies and the whole nine? Or
veggies and bread? There's no ham.
Okay. Yeah. I dig it. That's fun. Yeah, my grandma used to do it with ham, and I thought that was always like an ace under the sleeve, right? It was like it'll kick you it'll punch you in the stomach, and it'll taste so good. I miss my grandma's stuffing.
You know what I've discovered this year? This is a little very off tangent, and I don't know if you figured out how to make a poll, but recently, for some reason, this year out of all years, I've heard the most complaints of turkey versus ham. Either you love turkey and hate ham, or love ham and hate turkey. I don't know why this year everyone's been very vocal about it.
They're both good in different circumstances.
Yeah, of
Ham is
course.
good by itself, okay? And you have to eat turkey with cranberry sauce. Those are the two situations where they both shine.
Or barbecue sauce or gravy.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
What?
Whatever, dude.
John,
Well,
you know what? John's never been to the Texas State Fair and had a fried turkey leg.
He's never. I can totally tell. Poor him.
True.
You know,
It's true.
it is what it is.
You know what you've never been to? Medieval times and eating a giant leg of mutton. Wait,
but
that
actually
I have, but it's not nearly as good.
We have medieval times.
Oh, come on, bro.
Florida is like 2 years behind Texas.
This is my fault. This is my fault. I didn't know it was a chain. I thought it was something that Florida had that was special.
No.
They got South Carolina, Texas, California. They're all over the place.
Dang, man. Medieval times, you failed me. That's what my name is going to be. It's going to be You Failed Me, Medieval Times. How do I change it?
And you can just click on the 3 dots down below, sir, and you can edit all your stuff.
I think you'd have to leave this
on your
camera and come back.
No, I don't think so. I think it'll be fine if you can change it. You guys are the most dramatic group of guys I've ever seen. Yo, she's calling us ladies, dude. What is
name? You
edit
can
name.
Click the 3 dots and edit name.
Yeah, but I'm on my computer.
Yeah,
you
still can. So am I.
3 dots.
3 dots on your camera, bro.
On
down
your
below,
individual camera, not
there's
on
a camera that has your name, right? And you can see yourself right next to the mute, the microphone, which is where you can mute as well. There's 3 dots, and you can just play with that stuff. Okay. Listen, chat, sorry that we just jump into a huge tangent, but that's what we do. Welcome. This is what you get. So sorry about that. This is who we are, and we're not planning to change anytime soon. But needless to say, I got to explain it every Wednesday, what we do in this Bible talk. And so all that it is, it's us 3 getting together, opening up the Bible, and reading it, talking about it, thinking about it, just having a good time. And so we love for you to join up and ask questions and participate and be part of this. That's one of the reasons why we're doing it. We love to hear from you. We love to do this with you. Now, having said that, this is not a place to argue or ask questions that that they're going to be a little iffy here and there, and that are starting to do a little thing where we can go back and forth and we go on a tangent. Discord is there for that, right? You can always message us on Discord. Post there. We'll, any of us will DM you and whatnot, and we can do that there. So please don't. This is not the space to argue and all the stuff. We do want to hear from you. We want to see your messages and all that stuff, but we ain't arguing. Just saying that. And then that's kind of it. So welcome to Bible Talk. We're on episode 29. We've been doing this for 29 weeks, whether you believe it or not. We're towards till the end of the year, and it's been really great.
When's our year anniversary?
I would have to look, but I can find it probably. I'm not going to do that now, but I have all the episodes here, so I will find it for sure. Whenever we do a year anniversary, it's going to be next year, probably like.
Dude, we've been doing this for over half a year now.
I don't think it's been over half. I don't think it's been over half a year. I think we're right at half a year, probably.
26 weeks is the half year mark.
Oh, that's right. So, so definitely more than half. Oh, definitely way more, because I was out for 4 weeks, right? That it got canceled.
Oh, that's right.
So that's we're definitely out of 8 months probably or so, which is unbelievable, which is amazing. But that's pretty cool. Anywho. We have a special message. I completely messed up the whole thing because Adrean had planned for us to do a follow-up on an amazing message about the armor of God, which is super cool, which we really enjoyed. We did 2 parts on it, and Adrean will do a little recap. It's short because we have a totally different topic to talk about. And we were supposed to follow up, but we're going to talk about Thanksgiving, given the fact that tomorrow is the day. And so before we jump in there, Adrean, why don't you tell us what we studied the last couple of weeks? So for all those new viewers that don't know what we're doing, or for whoever already forgot, we can jump on it and just do it.
The last couple of weeks we studied on that the USB port on the front side of the PS5 isn't properly charging unless you have the PS5 on. And so PlayStation is releasing a new patch for that hopefully soon.
Yes. For those of you who don't own a PlayStation 5, well, you just sucker, beats you. John is so confused. By the way, I love your gamer tag, Adrian. Killed it.
Thanks.
I'm not quite sure how to read that. Sexiest and 817. I don't know if you meant to
So, do you
write it any other
remember
way.
that? Do you remember the days of AOL Instant
Of
Messenger?
course, absolutely.
And so people had the most like ridiculous screen names out there, and of course, like the most. So for the Asian community, right? The AZN was, the cool hipster way of saying Asian, right? And then you always had like capital X, lowercase x, underscore, whatever.
The pyramid. That's a very Xbox thing too.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it started back in AOL Instant Messenger, so I thought I was gonna be cute about it, but anyways.
Welcome,
more than cute, adorable.
Adorable.
I should put like my actual. There you go. That's my actual username for all my social media handles.
And what's your password, real quick?
It is I heart leader the only one.
I heart leader the only one.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah. But the heart is the less than 3 sound.
Yeah, the 3. Okay, perfect. Last 4 digits of your social, real quick.
I think it is 666.
666. Adrian, cap us off with last 2 weeks, bro. Come on, let's get this show on the road, dude.
Okay, last 2 weeks we talked about the armor of God. We talked about the different armor pieces, including the belt of truth, the gospel of peace, which is like your footwear, the breastplate of righteousness. Yeah. But anyways, basically we talked about like arming yourselves and standing against the forces of evil. And it is what do you call it? Alex said it, and I forget if it was the first or second one, but it's not up to us to defeat evil. It's up to us to stand against it, right? It's only God and his power that can defeat evil. But we have to be prepared. We have to prepare ourselves in order to, make sure that we have the proper tools to stand against that, because, Satan and his demons is going to hit us with everything that he has, and his favorite weapon against us is doubt. And for us, the super effective weapon against that, with like a +10 multiplier hit bonus with doubt, is having faith, right? And that faith comes from God, and it comes from the gospel, it comes from the Bible, and that's why we're here to talk about the Bible, not necessarily to bash anyone's heads in with it, but to make sure that ourselves, like the 3 of us here, and all of our friends and family have what it takes to stand up and to be prepared, and to not fall into evil and temptation, and thus fall into depression, anxiety, anger, and all the things that are just not cool.
Sweet, man. Thanks for that. If I remember correctly, we also mentioned how the battles are not necessarily fought physically, but also mentally, right? And how there's many types of enemies in the world that we live in under this new period of grace, and how we're supposed to stand firm. And I remember you giving a really good example of that standing firm. Even you tied it in with the shoes and having the proper wear. For me, that was a very impactful thing, a thing that I personally connected well with, and that's pretty cool. So that's awesome. We need to talk about war and what it means to be a soldier in the army of God, for sure. So we owe that to you, chat, God permitting, next Wednesday. We'll jump back in it. But that was a really cool series, to be honest. It was 2 weeks. We missed John on the first one, but I think it was pretty dope. John, what I want to hear from you, what was kind of like your takeaway from that series before we jump into today's message?
From God's Armor series? I think my takeaway was that following Christ following him initially is intentional, right? But then everything after that is also intentional, right? You're intentionally focusing on protecting yourself against the enemy in very specific ways. You know what I mean? And equipping yourself in specific ways, and then showing others how to do the same thing.
I like that, dude. I like that. Amen to that. Okay, are we ready to jump into what we got going on today?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, baby. Let's see. Opening up Esword for y'all here real quick. For those of you guys who don't know what Esword is, shout out to them. This is the last message that we study, which is pretty cool. Esword is a free application that you can just find. It is e-sword, kind of like esports without the dash in between. Since we talk gaming a lot in here. Their tagline is the sword of the Lord with an electronic edge, which I really love. The reason why we use it is because we get access to multiple versions, just like your app on the phone, I guess. A lot of apps can do that. But the biggest deal for me is, I can access the King James Version with the Strong's Dictionary and access the original language, Greek, Hebrew, and Aramis to study the Bible deeply. I can add notes, which you see on my right side here. There is a lot of Bible verses that relate to the verse that we're reading. And so there's a lot of dope stuff in here. I highly suggest that you guys support them and use this app if you're serious into, studying the Bible, reading the Bible, and whatnot. So feel free to do that, chat. And let's get started, y'all. So happy Thanksgiving. Let's talk about let's talk about Thanksgiving real quick. I don't even know how kind of start, to be honest, because there's so much that we can talk in the Bible. But we added a few notes, and I kind of, before doing that, I kind of want y'all's personal thoughts on what Thanksgiving means to you guys. If you guys don't mind, and then want to jump into what the Bible talks about, what Thanksgiving is, and kind of see where we land and kind of like our standpoint. I think that'll be pretty cool to see. So we're gonna do this, invertly. Typically, we read first and then we have the opinions. I kind of want to see the opinions first. And chat, feel free to, message us what Thanksgiving means to you before we jump into the Bible, because I'm just curious to hear. So, John, since you're the last talk, I'm gonna put you up first. What is Thanksgiving for you, man?
Thanksgiving for me is actually probably the least religious of all the holidays. Historically, for me, it's just been time where I literally just spend time with family and eat. You know what I mean? Like most of the day is actually pretty chill. Like we don't really do a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot of family that's really close with my family, so it's usually just my close immediate family, and we eat dinner every week. So it's just a bigger dinner, I guess.
Simple enough. AI, what is Thanksgiving for you, man?
Thanksgiving for me is the day that we celebrate white people introducing smallpox to the Americas.
Oh,
okay. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm pretty sure it was introduced before this, but this was the first time it was intentionally introduced, I think.
Yeah, something about like infected blankets or something.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Yeah,
I don't know, but no, I mean, for me, Thanksgiving. So if we're talking like personally or whatever, obviously number one, it's the it's the big Cowboys game, right? It's America's first team to ever start playing, on a national holiday. So my family and I were big Cowboys fans, so we've always made a point to watch the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. But two, there's three like major like families, and we call ourselves the Filipino Mafia, because there's so many of us. But there's like an Austin branch, there's a Waco branch, and then there's like a DFW branch, which is like my family's. We're kind of like the head of the DFW branch of the Filipino Mafia or whatever. Okay. And so it's just like three families. We always rotate the three holidays of Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, of like who's hosting Thanksgiving, who's hosting Christmas, who's hosting New Year's, and we just kind of like rotate. And so like growing up, that's what we used to do is basically play like Russian roulette to see who gets which holidays, and we just get together, cook a lot of food. And for us, this is the first time that we get together probably since like summertime, because the kids, growing up, we would always go to each other's houses for like summer break or whatever. But then this is the first time since school started for all the cousins, all of us to get together and just kind of hang out. And there was many Super Smash Brothers tournaments that were held on Thanksgiving. It was just a fun time to just eat a lot of food and just hang out with family. So for me, it's just family.
Nice. For me, I think I'm on the same boat. It's family football for sure, right? There's always 3 games, and it's super cool to always watch. I remember that tradition started with me and my family in Mexico. We would move one of the TVs downstairs to the big dining table. We had a 12 people dining table, which is huge table, and we would move one of those big, bulky. There were no flat TV screen back then, and we would eat and watch. Especially like my grandma's stuffing was the best. It was always really great, and then we will go and visit them on a Sunday and just eat again, and it was amazing. We do have a tradition, which to me is kind of what it means everything, and that is we go in a round table, whoever is with us for the dinner and stuff, and either before or after dinner, usually before, which is, by the way, really challenging, guys. I do not suggest you guys do this because you can smell the food and your mouth waters. But we typically pray in a round table, and each person gives thanks for something that happened through the year, or something that are grateful for. Now, we always like remembering that we're here because of him. And to me, that's kind of like the biggest deal. That's what Thanksgiving is to me. There's so much stuff going around, but to me, if it's another day where I get an actual reminder that the world's giving me an actual reminder that I'm here because of him, it's a big deal, because I tend to be really forgetful. Some days can go by and I don't thank him. I only thank for the food that he provides, and that's not nearly enough of what he does. And so to me, that's kind of a big deal. Aside from obviously having the family over and all that stuff. So that's kind of what it is for me. And I like it. Chat, for you guys, please be careful if you're going to, hang out with your family tomorrow and stuff. Take all the precautions necessary to stay safe, right? We're still under a pandemic. So just please be safe. Please be careful. There was a huge news article that came out last week of a family in Fort Worth that had a birthday party for a kid, and it was only 12 of them. The kid was asymptomatic positive for COVID. They had no idea. Got all 12 people sick, and now those 12 people have gone there. Their significant others, people who live in the house sick, and some of them are in the hospital, and some of them could die. So just be very careful with what you do and stay safe out there, but also enjoy, and also remember what Thanksgiving is all about. So I think that's a pretty good segue, if you guys don't mind, to jump into the Bible. What do you guys think? Is that cool?
Works for me.
Works for all of us. Let's do it. Let's jump into the first little verse that we got going on, and that is in the New Testament. That is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 15. So this is you, Mr. Fumblee.
15 to what?
Just verse 15. That's it.
Okay. All this is for your benefit, so that the grace that is reaching more and more people may cause thanksgiving to overflow to the glory of God.
Let's talk a little bit about it. This is Corinthians, which is a Pauline letter to the Corinthians, which is great. There's many words that are really important. Read it again, John, really slowly, and let's focus on keywords here.
All this for your benefit, so that the grace that is reaching more and more people may cause thanksgiving to overflow to the glory of God.
Man. All things for your sakes, there's the word grace, it's been multiplied through the many. Thanksgiving, obviously, and the glory of God. Man, a lot of unpack here. Let's break it down. I love how Paul, and I don't know about you guys, but I love how Paul is always like, yo, listen up, man. Every time that I have something to say, understand that this is for the good of you, which is great. And he's always done that through his letters. I love how he addresses people in the letters, and with much love, and sometimes like particular, like to Timothy or to the church or to the people. But he's always with intention of helping them, and that's always amazing. Now, that's easier said than done, but let's talk a little bit about something that I'm passionate about, which is the grace. And I want to give you the floor, John here real quick. What does this mean that the grace, which has been multiplying through the many, what's happening there? Why is this important? And why is it in this Bible verse talking about Thanksgiving? Like, what's the deal with this?
Well, in this situation, he's talking about do not wait, hold on a second. All this is for your benefit, so that the grace that is reaching more and more, right? So obviously, in this situation, people are coming to Christ, right? They're coming to Christ and they're joining the church, and so as people are joining the church, they're recognizing all the things that they should be thankful for. You know what I mean? Which is crazy for people to be thankful in that situation, because especially back then there was a lot of persecution, especially in Corinth, right? And so it's pretty awesome.
And but what's up with the grace, dude? Like, again, why is grace important in this Bible verse, dude? What it has to do with anything with Thanksgiving? Like, why is it there?
Well, it's kind of like you getting arrested for running 10 stoplights in a row and then driving through a school bus stopping area, right? You get to the judge, and the judge says, you know what? I'm going to give you some favor. I'm going to give you undeserved favor. You don't deserve this. You deserve to go to jail for a long time for doing all these terrible driving things. But instead, I'm going to forgive you, and then you're going to get off scot-free, right? It's the same thing with us. These people are coming to Christ, and they're recognizing that they had sin in their life, that they deserve to be punished for that sin, but God is giving them a way out, and they're thankful for that way out, that undeserved favor.
Amen, brother. AI, I'm about to bring you in here real quick. I got a question for you, dude. You're very much understanding about causes, context, and all this. How are we tying this? Like, why is this a tie to the last part of the Bible verse, right? Because it immediately says it may cause a thanksgiving to abound unto the glory of God. That's a tricky part of a sentence.
I'm not understanding your question.
Yeah, like I don't like help me understand this part of the sentence, that it may cause the thanksgiving to abound unto the glory of God. What does that even mean?
I mean, for me, and I mean, I don't know if this is correct or not, but the way that I hear that and receive that in my head is basically that giving thanks and all this, like, ultimately what it should lead to is thanking God, because ultimately everything comes from him, right? He is the ultimate good. All good, comes from him and overflows from him. And so all the things that all the things that you're thankful for, right? So we can thank him for our health, the food, the Cowboys win tomorrow, all that stuff. But all that ultimately, if you really keep thinking and praying and thinking about all the little things that are going on in your life, it should lead you into glorifying him, right? Because all things good come from him. So if you're thankful for all the good things in your life, ultimately it leads to the glory of God.
So, if we're talking about this particular Bible verse, Paul is saying, listen, people, for your good, please be thankful that you have the grace of God, so that all glory may be to him. So that's paraphrasing this Bible verse into like our colloquial terms. And that's beautiful, right? That's what Thanksgiving means, which is really great. Hence what we're going to start with this. Now, obviously Thanksgiving is not just this. This is kind of like the little teaser. So let's talk a little bit more about it. And you did great there, Adrian. That's exactly where that's exactly the segue that I kind of want to go. So you read my mind. But let's jump into our next Bible verse, which is First Chronicles, which is the Old Testament. I love going back and forth for the Old Testament to the New Testament. John, this is you, buddy. I hope you're ready, because I saw you were a little distracted there. You good? You still there?
Yeah. I was talking to my beautiful wife.
Okay. First Chronicles chapter 16, verse 34.
16:44. Well, that's 44?
34.
34.
Oh, 34. I was like, there is no 44 here. All right. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever.
Oh my. Dude, John, you just read it. It's a powerful Bible verse. Let's talk a little bit about it.
Okay. Oh, you okay? All right, let's talk
Yeah,
about it.
floor's yours,
Yeah.
dude.
All right, awesome. Yeah. So I think anytime that we talk about love, it's important for anyone, whether you're Christian or not, to go and read what is it, 2 Corinthians 13, whatever. It's the love chapter. And it gives you a description of what love is, right? And it gives all these descriptions that love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice, right? And there's different types of love, right? Which the English, as leader has said multiple times, the English language does a terrible job of explaining the word love. There's a whole bunch of different meanings and different words for love in Greek. And so in this one, I think this is agape love, because this is from God to us, which is perfect love. But give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, his love endures forever, right? So if you had someone that loves you perfectly by the proper description of love, which we should read, then how could you not want to glorify him? How could you not want to thank him for that love? You know what I mean? True love, like it's described in the Bible, is incredible. And I don't think anyone's ever truly showed me that love. And I don't think I'll ever be able to truly show that love to somebody else. So, but God definitely deserves glory and thanksgiving for the love that endures forever that he gives us.
So here we are in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. It's
Corinthians.
1 Corinthians, yeah. And I'm going over the word. In the King James Version, love is translated to charity. That tells you how big of a difference the English is versus, the Greek. And when I go to the Greek, is a word 26, which is the early word in the dictionary. Right, it's the 26th word in the dictionary. And that means love, that is affection, benevolence, specifically a love feast or charity, dear love. That is the root word from G25, which means boom. Oh, which means perhaps from agapao, which means to love in a social or moral sense, to feel loved, and also comes from a Hebrew word. It won't let me open it. I don't understand why.
Maybe it
Let's
doesn't
see.
exist.
No, it does exist.
Not according to a computer.
I know.
Just go to the mini menu on the right hand side there. Go to G25. There's like the little scrolly thing on the right side.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay, yeah, there you go. Boom.
Oh, I see it.
And there but I used to be able to just click on this. Oh, okay, here you go. A primitive word. Oh, so this is from Hebrew, by the way, 5689. A primitive word that it means to breathe, and that is to love. And this is huge because remember how we were created? God put his breath into us, which in theory you can all say that really he created us out of love, which is unbelievable. This is one of the reasons why I love studying this way, because you can see so much more than, and then, God, spoke or, put his breath into us and we were alive, and you're like, oh, dope. What a cool way to create somebody. But there's so much more meaning than that. So that comes from agape and whatever this Hebrew word is, a job or a wob or whatever. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. Yep, my bad. But it's pretty cool, right? So that's cool. Kind of where it comes from, which is amazing. And going back to Chronicles, which is what you're talking about, First Chronicles, man, this is tough to go between 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians. Chronicles is the same. I feel like I'm in the Old Testament, New Testament. Okay. Give thanks to Jehovah, for he is good, for his loving kindness endures forever. Adrian, do you think that the latter part of this Bible verse, right, for his love endures forever, I mean, it's a concept that I believe and I understand. I find it kind of difficult to put the statement of, hey, this love will never end, and it's not just any kind of love, it's the agape love, and it's for you to take it. I kind of want to understand more what that's like, because to be honest, I don't feel like in this world there's any kind of love that is the same way than this is. Do you agree?
No. I mean, I agree that there is no other form of love. In the way that God loves us, yeah.
And so how would you think it's different from the love that we know, that we're kind of used to. Like the love that comes from our parents, or the love that goes to a spouse, or the love that goes to a brother, or how's it differentiate if it's not something that we know? Because you've experienced it, right? You understand it. How would you explain it?
I mean, I've experienced it. Yes, for me to understand it is something that, you know, theologians and scholars that would dedicate their whole life to studying it will never truly be able to put into words, just because it is, you know, that amazing. Like there's no way our human minds could come close to comprehending God's will and God's love for us. Like we can you know, we can somewhat like define it. So we can you know, use, you know, whatever languages we speak of, English, Latin, Spanish, you know, whatever, to at least humanize it. But to actually do that is literally impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, the way that I see that God's love, you know, is forever, it's everlasting, it's unfailing. For me, the way that I read that is the most consistent. Okay. Basically that's how I read it, as, you know, it's forever, which means it's the most consistent. Like, we know the three of us have experienced, you know, unconditional love, quote unquote unconditional love, whether it's from our parents, from our spouses or significant others, who, you know, that's what we say, that's what we pledge. But if we're going to be honest, in our human nature, there are times that, you know, we, you know, could look at our parents in anger, you know, for some misunderstanding. We could look at our spouses and be like, man, I love you, but you are driving me absolutely crazy and insane, you know, or whatever, right? But God doesn't feel that way about us. Like, for me, God's love is consistent. And, you know, I always, whenever people like start blaming God, like, oh, God left me, or God did this, you know, this bad thing to me, or wherever, sometimes I almost have to disagree, but of course I can't, because I know that they're hurting. But I always believe it's us that fall away from God's love because we've chosen, you know, a path of sin and temptation, and just like our natural human selves are sinful, right? That it's not really God that leaves us, it's us that leave God. There's a story called, I don't know if it's a parable, but it's definitely like the story of the footprints in the sand. Are you familiar with that one, Alex?
No.
Well, I'll give you the short version, right? So it was a man and God walking along the beach on the sand, and the man looked behind him, and there were two sets of footprints. One was God's, one was his. And during the dark times, the low times of his life, he only saw one pair of footprints. And he questioned God, like, God, during the lowest times of my life, why did you leave me? Right. And God turned to him and said, child, it wasn't I that left you. It was I who was carrying you through those times, you know. And it's such a powerful, it's more in depth than that. And so I encourage everyone to look, the footprints in the sand, just Google it. And it's a very beautiful, very powerful story. But anyways, that's how I see God's love, is that is the only consistent thing in our lives.
Very good, very well said. The purest form of love too. It's unbelievable, and it's there forever. It's for you for the taking. And don't forget, we're talking about Thanksgiving, and the verse 34 says, "Oh, give thanks to Jehovah for that reason." Okay, so another things to be thankful for. Before we jump into our next Bible verse, I want to read the chat a little bit. Sorry, chat, I've been slacking today. Okay, my mom's here. She says, "For me, Thanksgiving."
Hi, Mom.
And for me, hi, Mom. For me, Thanksgiving is a lifestyle that Jesus wants for me as her daughter, and she gave us a Bible verse. I'm curious to read. We're gonna jump in there real quick. First Thessalonians, and that is 5:18. I'm gonna read real quick. In everything, give thanks, For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus to you, word. Boom. Highlight it. Add it to the notes. 100%. Right, which is exactly what we're talking about. It's good timing. Thanks, Mom. Really appreciate it. I agree. Krieger is here. What's up, man? How you doing, Arturo? Welcome, man. Welcome, chat. Sorry, we slacked a little bit. We'll jump into this one heavy again, which should be of no surprise to anybody anymore. My wife says, "I love this. How God used Paul in his word to take us from grace to life to His perfect love for us. He is so good." Oh, my dad is here too. Completely agree with my wife. Boom. Amen. Hi, Dad. Can we all say hi to Dad?
Hi, Dad.
Yes, good.
Oh, Papa.
There you go. All right, let's jump into our next Bible verse. Let's keep talking about this Thanksgiving stuff. Let's go to Ephesians, since we were already in Ephesians last week and the week before, and we're super cool with Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 5. 2 verses, John, for this one. 19 and 20, please.
Okie dokie, artichoke. 19 and 20. Speak to one another with psalms, hymns, and songs from the Spirit. Sing and make music from your heart to the Lord, always giving thanks to God the Father for everything, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Not gonna lie, I've slacked about this, and besides, I'm a terrible singer, so I apologize to you, John, and to you, AI, for having yet to spoke to you in psalms and hymns. I am, I can't. Praise the Lord, oh my soul. Oh, my soul, to you guys. So I apologize that I'm psyching in this part. No, just kidding. It's a beautiful.
Waiting for some Selena or something,
No, oh, come on, man.
Next time we stream Apex, we have to only sing what we need to say. He's over there.
Why are you charging into the enemy?
He's one shot.
Well, hey, I want to one up you guys. This has to be done with psalms and hymns, not just call outs and stuff. So good luck with figuring out how to do that, dude.
That's hard, man.
I love that about this Bible verse, man. We're supposed to thank each other, dude. Right? This is really what Paul was saying in here, and it's in a beautiful way, because singing is a way of worshiping, right? And I don't think we're supposed to worship each other, but more so like encourage each other and love each other and thank each other for number one, for God putting us together, and then for having each other, and that's a beautiful thing. So jumping dibs on this, I'm more than grateful to the two of you guys. I'm more than grateful to you, chat, and for the people that follows, and I am beyond blessed to have you guys. And if I ever slack at you speaking in psalms and hymns and thanking to you, my bad. I need to be better at that. But I am particularly thankful to you guys, and just the two of you guys are in here and doing this with me. Thank you so much for just doing this, which is amazing. I love you guys to death. You guys know that. And in the end, may the glory be to God, just like this Bible verse says. So this is a special verse for me. I like this passage a lot. By the way, guys, I encourage you to read Ephesians 5:1. You see the title, it says walk in love. There's so much in here. It's a beautiful passage. It's not 1 Corinthians 13, right? But this is a really good segue. Like, read 1 Corinthians 13 and then read Ephesians chapter 5. It's a beautiful love New Testament chapter, and this is what it ties it all. And it's beautiful. Verse 21 says, subjecting yourselves to one another in the fear of Christ, right? Understanding that we are all one church, we're all brothers and sisters. If you choose to do so, like we talk about being children of God, we all are creation, but you only become a child of God whenever you accept Him as your Father. And then we need to subject ourselves to the fear of Christ, which is an unbelievable concept. We briefly talked about it maybe 20 episodes back or 15 episodes back, and what it meant to each and any one of us. Adrian had a really good comment about that, and it was great. I have it here in a note somewhere, but that's another topic. But it's just the beautifulness of, this is another reason why to be thankful for, and that is to be thankful for each other. So I don't know if you guys have additional comments there, if you want to say anything. I just kind of want to steal the show for this one just because it was really important to me.
No, you're good, but your wife commented.
Okay, let's see what she says. Oh, Krieger says, hey, all good, good, man, good. Thank you for being here, brother. Really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody that's here, by the way. Lots of y'all. We see a lot of viewers, very few chatters, though. We like to hear from you guys. My wife says, haha, your singing is adorable, and I'm certain God delights in you, in your out-of-tune psalms. Well, thanks. Is that a compliment, y'all? It is, right?
Definitely a compliment.
I'm good.
Absolutely.
I'm good. Okay.
As my youth minister used to say, sing as loud as you can. And if you're out of tune, sing even louder. Because if God gave you your voice, he has the power to change it and make you in tune.
Oh, dude, what a way to put it. I never even think about that. That's amazing.
Yep.
All right, chat. We got one more verse for you, and we're gonna close our special Thanksgiving talk with that one. So let's go over the year, dear over the year, and that is Psalms, because we just talked about Psalms. So let's see what the Psalms have to say. Let's see what we have to sing, shall we? Psalms, chapter 107. By the way, if you think that you'll ever run out of songs, good luck with that. There's 150 of them. And good luck with running out of 119, right? Which is the longest chapter. Yeah, 107, sir. 107. 2 Bible verses for you, verses 8 and 9.
Let them give thanks to the Lord for his unfailing love and his wonderful deeds for mankind. For he satisfies the thirsty and fills the hungry with good food, with good
No, we lost John. Oh, okay, he's back. Can you read it again? Sorry, sir. It cut off.
Oh, you didn't hear me?
We lost you for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Let them give thanks to the Lord for them. So just do it?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Oh, okay. All right. Let them give thanks to the Lord for his unfailing love and his wonderful deeds for mankind. For he satisfies the thirsty and fills the hungry with good things.
Dude, I love... What version are you reading there, Mr. Fumblee?
NIV.
NIV? Do you have ASV there for you?
ASV.
Yeah. By any chance?
American Standard.
American Standard? No. And if you don't, that's fine. I'm blown away. Just read again on what version were you reading first? Sorry.
NIV.
Read it again on NIV and then read it on verse 9 only. And then read it on ASV verse 9.
For he satisfies the thirsty and fills the hungry with good things. And then the ASV says, for he satisfies the longing soul, and the hungry soul he filleth with good. That was way harder to say.
What a different translation that is in there, y'all. I mean, the reason why this Bible verse in here is, or the reason why we added the notes, is because we need to be thankful to the Lord because he does a love for our souls. And I was blown away that you read it in NIV and that wasn't even mentioned. It's almost like you gotta get lost in translation there. So I'm thankful that we have Esword. Shout out to Esword. Where we can understand a little bit more because that's one of the things I think is really important, right? The kindness and the things that God does for us don't necessarily need to be physical, which from time to time they are, but I love for this specific one that he's talking about satisfying our soul, our longing soul. I love that. Whenever we have the desire, right? Whenever we're hungry for him, for this love, for this kindness, he fills it up, and then he says that he fills it up with good, which is to me super heartwarming. So let's talk a little bit on, to tell the end of this. Why don't we get a little bit personal here, and you guys give me a good example of a reason that you're thankful to God for something specific for your life. It could be, this year, it could have been some other time. And how did that affect your soul? How did that fill your soul? I'm super curious to know. Adrian, you go first.
Okay. So I'm going to do two mini ones, if that's okay with you, Leader.
Yeah, please go for it, dude.
So the first time that I guess that kind of relates to this is thanking God directly. Especially when we're talking about how He fills the soul. There was a time in my life where I thought that I had everything, and yet like I was unhappy. Like I was doing well financially, I was doing well professionally, I was moving up, and all, I had won these company trips, was driving a company BMW and all that stuff, and yet like I felt like I was still like depressed, and I was still like struggling like to go to work. I just didn't find any purpose in life. And then I realized that I hadn't been going to church, and that I hadn't really read my Bible in quite some time. And then it was actually a friend of mine who invited me to go into like a young adult group, and that's kind of when I kind of like reignited my faith, especially like in my adult life. And all of a sudden, like I was like satisfied. Like I went to bed happier, and I actually got like a restful sleep, for the first time in years. And I knew that filling, that stuffing, speaking of Thanksgiving, right? That stuffing came from God. And so that's my first example. And then the second one is very recently. For those of you, who don't know, I have a very loving girlfriend now, as of, last couple of months. And this relationship is very different than any relationship that I ever had, just because this is the first relationship that's actually faith-centered and Christ-centered. And again, like just because we focus on that, we keep the relationship focused on God. I've been happier in this relationship than any relationship that I've had in the past. And again, like the common denominator with all the good things that have happened in my life. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you.
No, that was meaningful.
I saw that. I saw that. I saw the hand clapping. Appreciate it. What do you call it? The common denominator, with all those good things, is God. So that's how I know God is real. So for any of the non-believers out there who are questioning it, like you can believe me or you can not, but I'm telling you, like my truth, I have no reason to lie to you. Like that, all the good things in my life have a common denominator, and that is God.
Bro, a big amen. Chat before I jump into John, I'm curious to ask him. I'm also kind of curious to hear about from you. If you're a believer, and if you're not, can you tell me one big thing, one thing that you're super thankful for? I would love to read some of those in chat. I think this is a good opportunity to do so. So chat, please. John or Adrian will put it, or I don't know. I'm curious to know who put it in chat. I guess I can only put it in chat. Never mind. So let's do that right now. Chat. Can you tell me a great thing that you are thankful for? Boom. Let us know. We want to hear from you. So, Adrian, you nailed it. You started really, really hard. So good luck topping that, John. I bet God has been good to you as well, though. So wouldn't be surprised if you nail that one.
He has. So, normally I would say it's my wife, right? But that's kind of like, I don't know. Like there's a lot there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think something that fills my soul truly, right? Because sometimes Lauren doesn't fill my soul. You know what I mean? That's not really her role. Her role is to be loved and to love, something that fills my soul, though, I think the reason God created me the way he did is, and I don't say this to toot my own horn because it doesn't happen very often, but God gives me small opportunities every once in a while to share the gospel with people, or even debate people, right, that aren't Christian. And nothing is more satisfying to me. Nothing fulfills me more than sharing the gospel with people. Seeing, especially when people, like, you see it in their eyes that there's a little bit more hope. You know what I mean? Or even a Christian is lost their way a little bit. And they need like an encouraging word, kind of like what we were talking about before, where it said to speak hymns and proverbs, to sing them to people, right? I don't think necessarily that I sing them to people, but telling a Christian brother that's having trouble in life something from the Bible that directly applies to them that God brings through your mouth is so rewarding, and it's so incredible. You know what I mean? It's the one true thing that you can be rewarded for in life, because everything else is a temporary reward. But that lasts for much longer, both inside and outside, you know? And so I would encourage anyone that is a Christian to ask God for those opportunities, to ask for opportunities to share the gospel and share his love with other people. And you'd be amazed at how many people you'll see that are, they look distraught. And in your spirit, you're like, oh, I need to go talk to that person. You know what I mean? Those opportunities will come a lot when you say those things. And so, yeah, that's the most rewarding thing in life.
Huge way to put it. I love it. I feel like Adrian was on a very personal way. I feel like you tied it in on a very spiritual way. I think I want to try to land here in the middle, because that's kind of exactly my from my standpoint. I've been on holes in my life, deep holes, a few times, and it's crazy to see God's love through other people during those times. So for me, and just like I said, through the friendship that I have with you guys, this particular year, right, I had stones, kidney stones, and holy cow, that was one of my highlights of this year. But it wasn't a highlight just because of how painful, how horrible, how down I was. It was a highlight because God was able to fill in my soul through you guys, specifically John and Adrian, who were back there. Travis, huge shout out to you, dude. You didn't stop praying for me, and that is a huge deal. And so just the fact to feel y'all, be able to embrace my need of love, and that you guys were providing it, was a huge deal for me. So I guess in between here, the physical and the spiritual, whenever you are in a hole, you always need God, and I was in one. And one of the ways that I was able to get to God was through my friends, and so I am super thankful for that. My soul was filled because of that, and that this has happened before. When I was 20 years old, I guess 10 years ago, it was kind of the same situation. I was in a big hole, and back then my friends in Mexico were the same way for me. So for me, these friendships that are farther than, there's a Bible verse that says, and there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. For me, is very real, and I am beyond blessed to have many of those, whether they're in Mexico, or they're here, or in your case, John, in Florida, right, which we've never been in person, and yet God utilizes your life and fulfills a void in my heart, and that is to me very special. So perfect, guys. We open up there a little bit. Let me see. Let's read chat real quick. Krieger, my good friend Arturo from Mexico, he says, this time I'm very grateful that 19 years ago I met a great family that became my extended family. Thank God for the Maldonado family. For you guys that don't know, Krieger Arturo, he's on Twitch. You feel free to big shout out to him. His channel is called Krieger Esports, one word. Krieger, Kriger Esports. And he became Christian 19 years ago with my dad. And my dad, I think, if I remember correct me if I'm wrong here, brother, but my dad was the one who reached out to you, and you accepted Christ through him, and you became part of the family ever since. And it's cool. We call each other cousins, right? Even though we're not related by blood, but to us, the love that binds us together is far greater than any blood could do. So we truly believe that we're family, and so that's amazing. So 19 years ago, that's a big one, Arturo. That's amazing. So thank you for sharing that. And my dad and my mom both say, "Hey, salvation." So salvation times two. Obviously, I cannot think of anything bigger to be thankful for than salvation. It's hard to top that one, because without it, we that'll be tough. Arturo keeps saying, the deeper we are into the hole, the most we look for God's light. That is correct. To my mom first, yes, absolutely. I remember that. And she is, she's in a very amazing place, looking down to us and being super, super happy, right? Mallory's here. She says,
Hey.
so thankful that God allows me to bless and be blessed by my 8th grade students every day. Huge shout out to Mallory. She's a 8th grade teacher. So 2 things. Number one, Mallory, thank you for what you're doing. You fall into that group of people who are in the front lines, right? In a way. And not only that, you are educating the next generation over. So you have a huge responsibility. So shout out to you for being amazing, for also occupying a place in Adrian's heart, which is even more special. And also, we're thankful.
I'm thankful that she tolerates and deals with me.
That is correct. That's amazing. So shout out to you, Mallory, and absolutely, that's amazing. Your thanks. John, who's here, says, "Hey, that's awesome." My dad says, "It's of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because of His compassions fail not. We are truly blessed to have His grace, especially now, right?" Lamentations is an Old Testament, and they had to be thankful in a certain way. We're even more blessed because, like John says, we have this undeserving thing constantly, over and over, and His everlasting love in the world that we live in. So, chat, I think this was amazing, guys. I love this message. I think this is great. Before we leave and before we do our closing comments, huge shout out to the Discord guys. Please go to Discord if you can, because tonight we normally pray every night after the message. So I highly encourage you guys to join the Discord. It literally just came out here in Twitch, and I'm gonna post it everywhere. Give me a second. Let me try to copy this, because tonight what we're gonna do is, instead of doing our typical prayer, we're gonna have our prayer warrior Travis guide us through Thanksgiving prayer. And so that's what we're going to do this time around. And I would love for all y'all to be there, whoever wants to be there. We're not going to make it long, so we're going to keep it to one thing that you're thankful for. We're going to make it nice and sweet. But I think it's really heartwarming. I love to hear from people whenever they're thankful for something. It just makes me happy, especially in a year that like this one that was so hard. So shout out to the Discord. Please join. I just send the link over on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Just join in there. Get ready. And join the general voice channel. We'll be praying for that here in a minute. Okay, on to our closing comments for today. John, what is your big takeaway? Something that you want to say to chat? Something that you want to just spill out? Go for it, dude. Yeah, good luck.
So I'm the Mandalorian, so this is combat mode.
Yes.
You couldn't hear me, but I said regular mode.
Nice.
Yeah, super great. Something that closing comments. Something. Yeah. Okay. All right. Whatever. Anyway. My brain had a train wreck. All the cars piled into one spot, and all the thoughts hit me at once. Anyway. I guess something that is important is, I don't know. I guess this goes along with what I was thankful for, but sharing the gospel with others, right? And then equipping them with the armor of God. I think no matter what, those are the number one thing that we could ever talk about on this would be to share the love of God with others, to share the gospel with others so that they can experience what we experience. Not only that, but then be saved, right, from eternal damnation, and then continue to equip them and guide them through, right? Because as soon as you become a Christian, you become a target, Satan targets you, your emotions target you, your sinful nature targets you, your sinful friends and family target you, and so they need allies, and they need help, and they need protection. They need to be coddled. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say.
Big amen to that, dude. Jumping to Adrian. While I do that, John, please ping everybody on Discord. Let's get them ready. Get them ready to roll, please, sir. AI, final thoughts, final closing on a good Thanksgiving message. What do you want to say to peeps?
Sure. So my final message for you guys is this. If you are listening to this or you're watching this in of itself, the fact that you can do that is a blessing. It's been a tough year. It's been a bad year for a lot of people. And it's tough. Like, I'm not trying to take away from all the stuff that's happened in 2020. Everyone has their struggles. Everyone's been going through their own, their own challenges, their own struggles, and fights, and and whatnot. But if you are watching this, if you're listening or watching or whatever, like, this is a blessing. And if you're grateful for anything, it's the fact that you still have breath. You are still alive. And there's a sign in my loving girlfriend's apartment that I really, really love. Every time I read it, it just reminds me and it humbles me. And it reads, "If you love everything that you have, then you have everything that you need." So that's something to think about over Thanksgiving. Love you all. And I love John and I love Leader. So, thank you guys for, this discipleship that we get to share every Wednesday.
Big amen. Big amen. Thank you, AI. Thank you, Mr. JohnsFumblee. My final thoughts is, they both did a great job of putting this together. I'm talking to the ones out there that are maybe not, that are non-Christian really, is I invite you to come in and taking this gift and taking this love, so you understand what we're so passionate about, why we love this so much, and what we are in the midst of everything finding a lot of things to be thankful for. But more so than anything, the fact that we have salvation, just like my parents said, is unbelievable. We don't deserve it, and yet we have it. And no matter how bad the world is, and no matter where we go, we have guaranteed eternity. And I can't think of anything that I can be more thankful for. The fact that I have them here in this world, Aya and John, is unbelievable. But the fact that I get to hang out with them forever in heaven one day, it's just something that my mind even has a hard time understanding. And I can't imagine what that's going to be like. It's going to be epic. And I want not just the children to be with us, but I want y'all to be with us, so we can hang out forever and under the love of God, which is, wow. So we love you guys so much. We thank you. We can't wait to see you guys next week, God permitting, next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Central Time. This is literally the only one. JohnsFumblee, Adrean, Indolos, AI. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Oh, see ya.